Paleontologists from all over the globe have uncovered numerous dinosaur fossils over time. Dinosaurs were a very diverse collection of creatures. Some were the size of a chicken, while others were the size of several buses. Similar to how their overall ferocity differed greatly, some were much more submissive while others simply dominated. These dinosaurs are divided into different groups based on their relative size, aggression, and available weaponry. Let's find out which dinosaurs were the deadliest to ever inhabit our world. Let's start. Fun fact, some dinosaurs have had feathers, and some even had wings, but couldn't fly, and ostriches are closest relatives of those types of dinosaurs. Number 10. Velociraptor. The deadly Velociraptor is a genus of dromaeosaurid theropod dinosaur that first appeared 75 to 71 million years ago during the Late Cretaceous Period. At maturity, most specimens weighed 43.5 pounds or 20 kilograms. The Velociraptor became famous as the star of the movie's terrifying events in Jurassic Park. Despite their small size, Velociraptors frequently caused mass destruction with their sickle-shaped toe claws. While hunting, these infamous dinosaurs, whose name means swift seizure, were aware of the power of unity. Velociraptors were exceptional predators that looked like birds in real life. Velociraptors were amongst the deadliest dinosaurs due to their athleticism and intelligence, as well as their non-reptilian appearance and hook-like talons. Number 9. Mapusaurus. Mapusaurus was a massive carnivorous dinosaur that lived in Argentina and possibly Chile during the Late Cretaceous Period. In addition to being larger than T-Rex, Mapusaurus hunted in groups of 3 to 5. Despite the fact that Mapusaurus's primary diet consisted of what appears to be one of the largest land animal that ever existed, the Argentinosaurus, the Mapusaurus was an incredibly massive dinosaur capable of reaching nearly 6,600 pounds at maturity or 3,000 kilograms. The Mapusaurus had a lot of strength because of its enormous size. With their height top speed of 30 miles per hour, the dinosaurs could quickly overwhelm potential aggressors before they could mount a formidable defense. Number 8. Allosaurus. If T-Rex ruled the Cretaceous period, Allosaurus ruled the Jurassic. Allosaurus was the most likely powerful enough to take down dinosaurs 3 times its size. At maturity, most specimens are thought to have weighed between 3,100 and 4,400 pounds or 1,400 to 2,000 kilograms. A 2015 study discovered that Allosaurus could open its jaw nearly 16 degrees wider than Tyrannosaurus rex. Allosaurus also had serrated, dagger-like teeth that curved backwards, likely to keep its unfortunate prey from escaping. Experts believe that Allosaurus was an active hunter, as evidenced by bones that had been damaged by what was most likely a stegosaurus defending itself with its spiky tail. Number 7. Saurophaganax. The Saurophaganax was a very dangerous dinosaur during the Jurassic period, and it was one of the deadliest species that ever lived on Earth. The average weight of this massive predator was estimated to be between 6,600 and 9,900 pounds or 3,000 to 4,500 kilograms. The animal possessed well-muscled arms and legs, as well as powerful claws that could be used for slashing and tearing their victims apart, similar to the Allosaurus. As a result, the Saurophaganax was able to easily overwhelm their opponents due to their sheer strength and size. With large serrated teeth and a bite force of over 6,000 pounds, the Saurophaganax was clearly one of the most powerful, as few dinosaurs could match its overall power, size, and ferocity. Number 6. Gigantosaurus. Gigantosaurus, meaning giant southern lizard, was a theropod dinosaur that lived during the Late Cretaceous period. They can weigh between 9,300 and 30,000 pounds when reach maturity. The thin, pointed tail of the Gigantosaurus is one of its most notable characteristics. This was a hint of the ferocious meat-surprising eater's agility. It could have served as a short stabilizer, keeping the ferocious meat-eater balanced as it made sharp turns and chased after its prey. Gigantosaurus likely took down its prey by slicing its target's flesh, wounding it, and wearing it down to the point where the predator could easily overpower it due to its relatively weak bite force than T-Rex's. Number 5. Majangosaurus. Majangosaurus, a ferocious Cretaceous-era carnivore has a weirdly shaped skull that highlights the dinosaur's most notable feature, sharp serrated teeth. At maturity, the average weight is 2,400 pounds, 1,088 kilograms. It's also one of the few non-avian dinosaurs with fossils that strongly suggest cannibalistic behavior. Majungasaurus, like its other meat-eating relatives, had one more notable and somewhat ridiculous feature: short stubby arms with small paddle-like hands that were probably not used for catching prey. Even its comically small guns couldn't keep the toothy, short-snouted Majungasaurus from becoming the top predator of the Mesozoic era Madagascar. Number 4. Carcharodontosaurus. Carcharodontosaurus was a large carcharodontosauriid theropod dinosaur that lived during the Late Cretaceous Period. In terms of weight, the Carcharodontosaurus was estimated to weigh between 13,000 and 33,000 pounds, or 5,900 to 15,000 kilograms. Carcharodontosaurus is always on the list of the most dangerous dinosaurs due to its basic characteristics and its given name, which means shark-toothed lizard. Notwithstanding its relatively small arms, the giant's mouth contained 20-centimeter long serrated teeth that may well wedge through the skin just as a samurai's swords. Carcharodontosaurus would prefer to scare, knock, and eventually pull its prey apart with its elaborate fangs. Its powerful thighs, on the other hand, allowed it to travel at a speed of 32 kilometers an hour. This speed was enough to outsmart T-Rex and other carnivores of the time. Number 3. Spinosaurus. Spinosaurus, meaning spine lizard, was a large and deadly spinosaurid dinosaur that lived during the Late Cretaceous Period. In terms of weight, most scientists believe that the dinosaur could have weighed between 31,000 and 46,000 pounds, 14,000 to 20,800 kilograms. The Spinosaurus was distinguished by its long, narrow skull, which resembled that of a modern crocodile. The Spinosaurus, the largest terrestrial carnivore ever known, was a lethal beast known for its enormous power, speed, and strength on both land and in water. As a result, the animal was well suited for hunting both small and large prey, as its body size and strength were sufficient to easily subdue the majority of its opponents. Number 2. Utahraptor. The infamous Utahraptor was a large dromaeosaurid dinosaur from the early Cretaceous period. The Utahraptor is thought to have weighed between 1,500 and 2,000 pounds, 680 to 900 kilograms. Because of its incredible speed and power, the Utahraptor was insanely lethal and dangerous. The animal's incredible intelligence was one of its most powerful characteristics. Utahraptors had a strategic mindset that allowed them to actively herd and set traps for their victims while operating in large packs. Once captured, the animal was able to launch a barrage of devastating attacks that included both bites and quick slashes. Similar to the Velociraptor, each Utahraptor possessed a large sickle-like claw that measured upwards of 9 inches in length, or 22 centimeters. These devices were incredibly sharp and could be utilized for the purpose of inflicting deep wounds. Likewise, the animal also possessed a large number of razor-sharp and serrated teeth. Number 1. Tyrannosaurus rex. Arguably the most popular prehistoric predator ever, the Tyrannosaurus rex is typically the first animal that comes to mind when anyone hears the word dinosaur. At maturity, T-Rex typically weighed between 11,000 and 19,000 pounds, 5,000 to 8,600 kilograms. Because of its incredible strength, size, and power, the Tyrannosaurus rex was an insanely dangerous and lethal dinosaur. As with many of the dinosaurs on this list, the T-Rex's size plays a large part in its overall hunting and killing abilities, as the animal was capable of overwhelming the majority of its victims with sheer power and strength alone. Once subdued, the T-Rex could then attack its prey with vicious bites that caused severe blood loss and permanent damage to their body structure. In fact, it is frequently stated that the T-Rex had the strongest bite force of any land animal in history. It makes sense why paleontologists refer to the T-Rex as the apex predator of its era. That's it for today's video, guys. See you in the next one.